Your grandfather was a pearl fisherman.
Very much so. The entire family were pearl fishermen, mainly on my granny's side. I should say again, not so much on my grandfather's side. And I have like relatives that's all they did was pearl fish. They fished all over Scotland and England, Ireland and Wales, but they also went to North America and fished. They went through Europe fishing, and eventually the people who do not know what they're doing about pearl fishing, freshwater pearls, which are about 5 or 6 times more valuable than like cultured pearls that you get from the sea. Eventually people that didn't know what they were doing, they would just open the shells and just throw them away, open and throw away, just not knowing that you don't need to do that. You only have to open them a wee bit, you know, and if there's a pearl in it, it will be around the top edge of the shell. And you can open it maybe half an inch to see if there's anything there, and if there is, you can actually pull the pearl out. You can take it out. And in the shell, what we do is you would scratch the outside of the shell and put it back in the river. Any pearl fisherman worth his salt would come along, lift the shell and see a scratch on it. Oh, it's been looked at, and we put it back in. And that's what the family's been doing for a long, long time. And they made special tools for opening the shell, like a set of pliers that worked opposite. So when you squeeze it, it opened up, you know. And that just protected the muscle. But eventually the authorities said it has to stop because there were so many being wiped out. Rivers were being completely wiped out of shells. Or hell you'll witness life's still poor for the men who plunder the shell. They'll work till the day has darkened, and they'll say that this way of life just isn't going well. The reasons you're here are lost in some clear as the search for the pearl murders on. Soon there will be nae fishing left for me, and the skill acquired never see my son. So alter your ways, or soon we'll see the day when the traveller's freight won't stay away. And hunt if you can with thoughts of fellow man, and now for the life who's right to stay survive, to know where to find some treasure you should mind, that the muscle should nae die for your gain. Skill lies where to look for twist or maybe click. It's the only way, so listen when I'm saying, and alter your ways, or soon you'll see the day when the traveller's freight won't stay. And hunt if you can with thoughts of fellow man, and on the life is right to stay survive.
You may know I recorded your grandmother and your mother, and I was asking where Belle was born, and she said, and I can almost quote it because I transcribed it, I was born in a wee bow tent on the banks of the River Tay, and there was nothing to eat if it hadn't been for days. And my mother, who'd lost 3 or 4 bairns and hadn't had a live birth, was lying in the tent, and my father was pearl fishing in the Tay.
Capeth.
Yep, in Capeth. And she said it was her grandmother was helping, and the safe delivery of this little girl was just such a joy, but there was virtually nothing to eat. Just at which point your grandfather appeared, and he'd been to the chemist. Would he be Dunkeld?
Probably.
to take it to the chemist who weighed the pearl on a balance, and he gave her in 1906 £5. And he came back shouting, "I got the biggest pearl, the most beautiful pearl you ever saw in your life." And the grandmother said, "Well, that's 12 pearls you got the day. There's another in the tail."
This tale here's yearning life. Spey River soon will die when the final shell has been taken from her son. A traveller though I've been, it's by far the worst I've seen. But it's not just here, it's rife in other lands. So turn away, or soon you'll see the day when the travelers straight won't stay alive, and hunt every kind with thoughts for a fellow man, and all forms of life whose right is